What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class ELITA-1. Based on the Transformers 1 animated movie, this take on the character first saw her as the head of an Energon mining division before being shortly relegated to waste management. And I've got to say that this is a figure that has been a long time coming. She's the fourth and final member of the movie's main lineup, which so far have been incredibly solid. Firstly, there was Optimus Prime and Megatron, which really seemed to push the limitations of the Deluxe Class price point. Then Bumblebee and Sentinel Prime, two huge improvements in comparison to their original mainline counterparts, leaving me with extremely high hopes for how she would turn out. So, as we whack up an image of how she appeared in the movie, much like the previous Transformers 1 figures, an incredibly faithful recreation of her design, even down to the head sculpt, which is really nicely detailed and appears to be a great updated take in comparison to the original G1 design. Proportionally, I also think they nailed it. She is incredibly spindly, and for a figure that can transform, surprisingly also really clean. And as we spin her around to the back, and again compare her to the look in the film, honestly, I think they did an amazing job in cleaning her up. With most female Transformers, due to how slender their designs usually are, the robot mode always tends to suffer. But more recently, it really appears like the design team are finally managing to really compress and integrate the vehicle even better into the design. The only part of ELITA that I can't say I'm the biggest fan of would have to be the elbows. These sadly just stick out way too far, although with them only being on ball joints, I'm pretty certain can be swapped out with a potential upgrade kit. With that being said though, the figure is mostly a great addition into the lineup of Transformers 1 characters, and with the recent announcement of both Alpha Trion and Arachnid is only set to get even better. Flying through the accessories that ELITA includes, up first is her Tracker Blaster, which is surprisingly a completely different sculpt in comparison to the first version included with Bumblebee, this time being considerably more detailed. She also includes the mining jetpack, which is first seen towards the beginning of the movie, and in addition to being compatible with ELITA, the designers have also made it so that it can be equipped with the previously released Optimus Prime, Megatron, then finally Bumblebee. Diving through the articulation, despite the limitations due to the design of the forearms, she's actually incredibly agile. So to begin with, the head is on an incredible ball joint. This can look up, down, tilt side to side, and rotate left to right. The shoulders can kick forwards, backwards, and out to the side. The elbows are ball jointed, so can bend, although unfortunately, due to the way she transforms, she does lack wrist rotation. But with that being said, the waist has no issues in spinning side to side. The hips can kick forwards, backwards, and completely out to the side. The thighs can rotate, with the knees being able to bend way past 90. Then finally, the ankles are ball jointed, so in addition to rocking forwards and backwards, they can also tilt side to side. But to access her true potential, let's now put her through the pose test. Firing through some robot mode comparisons and starting off with the now legendary Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, the Transformers 1 Voyager Class Sentinel Prime, Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, Megatron B127 aka Badassatron, the Transformers Bumblebee movie RC, then finally the 86 movie Bumblebee. Leading the way into her transformation, despite there being some pretty neat tricks from a design standpoint, this is unfortunately where the figure does kind of begin to fall quite short. So for the first step, take the head and spin this all the way around until the back now faces the front. Take the chest plate and pop this open to allow the head to fold inside. With that complete, spin around to the back and pop this panel open, with this section following closely behind. We can now take the backpack and detach it away from this panel, with this section also folding back. Now that's complete, take the tyres and fully fold them forward. Then take the shoulder armor and flip this all the way around until eventually the top is now facing the bottom. We can now take the shoulders and slightly angle them up, which should then allow this panel to slide back into place. For the next step, spin down to the legs and pop open the shins, with the knee pad then sliding back. We can now take the heel spurs and flip these to the underside, as what you'll now do is make use out of this double jointed knee and compress it backwards. With the same now done for the second side, take this panel and slide it forward, with the entire foot folding upwards. With both sides now fully transformed, we can proceed to combine them directly down the middle and making sure that the front wheels do the same. With that complete, we can now take the forearm and slide this into the side of the thigh, as what you'll now do is take this back panel and slide it into these tabs. Then finally take the windshield and do exactly the same, and that is the transformation now fully complete. Racing through the battlefield, here is ELITA-1 now fully transformed into her Cybertronian vehicle mode. And as we whack up an image of how she appeared in the movie, visually the figure looks to be again incredibly close. Front, side to back, she is mostly a super faithful recreation of her animated counterpart and appears to take a lot of inspiration from the unused design of RC from the Bumblebee movie. Although it's not completely perfect, unfortunately the clearance on the underside is minimal, and no matter what way she's transformed, the head just seems to sit way too low. And that's a pretty big shame, as the design trick of having the wheels being able to slice in half is completely wasted. Instead, the only way that I've found to kind of make this work would be to pop up the front end away from the windshield, but even then that's a stretch. In terms of weapon storage, her blaster and the mining jetpack can be attached down back, but it's not something that I would really recommend, at least for the jetpack, as by detaching it, it does put a ton of stress on this incredibly thin hinge, and if it doesn't pop off, then it may just end up stressing out the plastic. Racing through some vehicle mode size comparisons, up first is the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, the Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, Megatron, Badassatron, the Bumblebee movie RC, and with a brand new Tron movie just around the corner, Hasbro have the opportunity to do the best thing ever with these two. Then finally, the 86 movie Bumblebee. So, wrapping up on this review for the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class ELITA-1. Overall, the figure is yet another mostly solid entry into the Transformers 1 lineup of characters. The vehicle mode is an incredibly faithful recreation of her on-screen design, although it's the robot mode where I really think the figure shines. She is incredibly slim with barely any kibble on the back, something which up until fairly recently was usually a given with most female Transformers. The only issues that I really have would be again the overly large elbows and the unfortunate placement of the head when in vehicle mode, but besides that, if you have been collecting the previous characters, then she will be a great addition into the lineup. I would love to get your guys' thoughts on ELITA-1. Be sure to sound off below and let me know. As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Transform and roll out!